Hi, it's Ginn from Rocksteady Studios. I'm the marketing game manager, and today we're looking at Batman Arkham City. When we were finishing off the development of Batman Arkham Asylum, we couldn't help but think about where the story could go from here. So we started to develop some ideas about changes to the environment, changes to Batman's navigation, his combat, the forensics, every aspect of his personality. So we even put some hints in secret locations in the first game about the structure of Arkham City. But it was really driven by a desire to really expand the sense of freedom and navigational power that players get when they're playing as Batman. So taking the game into an open world game structure was something as a team that we really wanted to do, not just for the technical challenge, but also for the creative challenge and the gameplay opportunities that offers up. And you know, we didn't set out to make the biggest open world game ever. We set out to make the most detailed open world game that players have ever experienced. So you know, for us, it's about exploring that middle ground and making a game that's got impressive scale, but at the same time, when you glide down into the street at street level, you've got an amazing kind of attention to detail, amazing aesthetic fidelity right down at that street level. That was our priority. When you start Arkham City, you've got the same gadgets that you finished Arkham Asylum with, the same core functionality in those gadgets. So the whole idea is that it's a continuous story, a continuous narrative, and as well as a kind of continuity in gameplay that I think gamers are really going to love. The core narrative path is still very, very tight and very focused, and is indicated by the bat signal. So wherever you are in the game world, if you want to continue on with the main story, all you've got to do is look up in the sky, spot the bat signal, and that's where you go. But exploring the side streets and the back alleys and rooftops of Arkham City opens up a load of side missions which are all very character-centric. So, you know, tracking down an assassin who's loosed in Arkham City, or the Riddler, or identifying, you know, what Zaz is up to, obviously a kind of classic serial killer. All of these stories are very much driven by kind of the intrigue that you get from so many different characters all in one place.
These challenges are far beyond a mind such as yours, Batman.
The multiple playable characters was something that we wanted to introduce so that the kind of emotional feedback you get throughout the game changes. You know, you get the shift of pace. When you play as Batman, you're kind of the righteous arm of justice. You're always doing the right thing. When you go into detective mode, it's primarily for crime scene investigation and forensics. When you're in combat, you can identify which weapons are being held by the thugs that you're coming up against. When you get to play as Catwoman, you get to do the wrong thing. You know, she's a thief, she's a criminal, so exploring Arkham City as Catwoman gives players the opportunity to kind of take a bit of a walk on the wild side. Her thief vision identifies things that can be stolen, so it doesn't give you strategy highlights, it doesn't give you weapon highlights, but it just shows you what you can steal. Similarly, playing as Robin feels very different as well. You know, his moral compass is more like Batman's than Catwoman's, but he's got his own navigation, his own gadgetry, his own combat system. Robin is much, in our game, is much more about the use of explosives and how that can be used as an advantage to him, and also to identify the way that enemies are using explosives. So he's got kind of a skew in his vision augmentation towards IDing explosives and working out how best to avoid them or how best to use them. So switching control between these characters really does give you a very different experience of the game world. So Batman's new abilities kind of get broken down into the different facets of his personality. So obviously combat is a big part of who he is. So he's very powerful, he's very agile, and we've pretty much doubled the number of animations for Batman across the board. So in combat you're going to be using a whole range of incredible new moves, but we've also really beefed up the AI's ability to take you on. So you'll get double or triple simultaneous attacks that come in, and you've got to use double or triple simultaneous counters. We've integrated gadgetry into combat as well, so you can lay down combat gel or use your bat claw without dropping your combo chain. So building up big chains and then using that or transitioning into instant takedowns is a big feature of the new combat system. We've got new gadgets for Batman, so the line launcher can deploy double, triple, quadruple lines that allow you to change direction mid-launch. We've introduced the smoke pellet as well, which allow you to sort of make a covert escape if you come across thugs who are heavily armed. We've still got some more gadget announcements to make as well. We've also really enjoyed the exploration of Batman's dark psychology within Arkham Asylum as well. So if you liked what we did in the first game, I think you're going to like what we do in the second game.